Hi again, and thank you for tuning in to this final part of the Alhambra Palace influenced pot that I've just created. Hugely inspired by the time that I spent with my Triskele brothers, Tom Bender and Tor Holvula, when we went to Spain in February this year. Obviously the edition that we've created is inspired by our adventures, but it's always something that leaks out from the things that we do together and creeps into my own work after every Triskele trip. So this pot was, if you watched the previous two videos, this was thrown as a bottomless pot and then attached to a slab. I find it easier to throw larger rounds without a bottom. I know that there is potentially there's potentially room for disaster attaching two pieces of clay together, but I've sort of pretty much found a good way, and the slab and the pot are both in the same sort of moisture consistency to allow them to join together without having to worry too much about whether or not the slab base will pull away from the rest of the pot. So the pot's been attached, and I'm just basically going around and ensuring that everything's in a good place, to be honest with you, and then concentrate on trimming off the excess slab at the base, which will either go into reclaim or possibly form a future accent pot. I'm going to try and do some different videos going forward, because essentially it's just you guys watching me make what I make. So if you do have any suggestions, then just drop a message in the YouTube video, and I'll see what I can do. I am pretty limited by the equipment that I have, and what I can and what I can't do. So it's just me in my studio, banging out a few pots and making what I make. So it's appreciated that you guys have tuned in, and thank you to everyone that's already commented on what I do. Happy to help out with the most basic of pottery skills, but when it comes down to the really technical stuff, then you've got to find that out yourself, unless you find someone that's willing to help you. I don't want to give out too many sort of technical details of what I do, because it's all part of your journey, as it was mine. So this is a standard procedure with any pot that you're going to flip. You need to support the inside. I've got an array of pieces of foam and polystyrene and cardboard, and that's it. That will help support the pot when you do flip it, just like I have. Just make sure the board is not stuck to the bottom like this one was. So this is just a matter now of cleaning up the join on the outside of the pot, and I just use a plastic rib. You can use anything, credit card, old credit card, anything at all, to just go around and smooth the pot out. I think that's the best use for a credit card, to be honest with you, rather than using it to spend your money that you haven't got. Is use it for your pottery. Sometimes I'll usually pick this up and put it back over onto the wheel and trim it off with the trimming tools, but this time I didn't. I wanted to keep the sort of shape that I've sort of come up with. So there's various types of trimming tools, but they're much of a muchness, to be honest with you. It's essentially a straight edge that you've got to go around and trim off the excess clay and blend everything together. I'm not sponsored by the tools that I'm using here are mud tools. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, shape or form, but by far they're some of the best ever ribs that I've used. The red one that I'm using here now is the softest one, and the different colours are different sort of, strengths or stiffness of rib, with green being the stiffest, then blue, then yellow, and then red being the softest. I use the blue for throwing, and essentially the yellow and the red for refining. But with the red ones, you can get a really good burnish on the pot to give it an almost sort of like glossy finish, which is pretty cool. And it also depends on the time. It depends on the state of the pot as well, and how stiff and how dry it is, or how wet it is. You can only do so much with the wet, but as it dries, you can do more refinement with the ribs to get it smoother. So yeah, the decoration was added. This was just made with wooden tools, pushing into the body of the clay, and lots of repetition, hell of a lot of repetition. There's a bit of a dink in the bottom because when I was filming, my tripod decided to fall over and hit the pot, but I just left it there. I'm not going to leave it out. It's part and parcel of the story of the pot. Studs were made with my usual tool, and then this time I have added 4 of my new cloud feet that I've recently produced, and I think it sets it off pretty well. The pot does look a little bit busy, so it's just going to remain unglazed with my normal oxide wash over all of it, just to give it that little bit more character. So the inspiration from my trip with my brothers, these are some photographs from the Alhambra Palace in Granada in Spain, and if you've never been, it's well worth the trip. It really, really is. It's just a phenomenal place to go to. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.